Ladies and gentlemen, this is Attorney Shaprali talking about one of the most commonly used form in immigration, which is the form I-130, a petition for alien relative. This form is usually used if you're petitioning. The first form you have to fill to when you're petitioning for a spouse, when you're petitioning for a sibling, or petitioning from one of your parents. And it is very important. This is basically the first step that you have to take whenever you're filing those petitions, and that's pretty much what starts the whole thing. And there are waiting times in some cases, but today we're going to talk about the form itself. The form itself can be obtained from the USCIS website. Here I kind of already went into it here, so here you can download it right there. And after I downloaded it, then I start filling it, because usually these are fillable forms. And here I took an example here. So let's say you're filing for a parent. This section is your section, right? Information about you. Your name is Ranger XXX. I put that. I put a fake address here. Place of birth, for example, is Chennai, India. Date of birth, it's kind of too. So if you're filing for a parent, let's put 1973. You're a male. If you're widowed, married, or single. And here, this is a part where people get confused. Other names used. Oftentimes, when cases were done previously, many times they were misspelling. So, for example, Ranjai here has been misspelled maybe in some documents as Ranjai. So you might want to mention it here. And if there are more, you might want to add a paper and explain that. Place of birth, of course, you put your place of marriage. You fill the social security number. If since you have to be a US citizen or a green card holder to file this, you will have a social security number. So I put a number here, alien registration number. If you are even if you are already a citizen, you probably have an alien number that was attached. So it's A567890. And then if you were married before, please mention the name of your spouses. If you are a US citizen, you need to complete this. So if you are by birth, that means you were born inside the United States, you click here. But most of the people that we get, they are naturalized. So you have to put your naturalized certificate, which is there. You will see it on the form. And if you have obtained it to your parents, which is not going to be the case here because you're petitioning for, well, maybe you're petitioning for a mother and the father was already a citizen, then you can mention that here. Because many people don't know is that if you become a US citizen, if your father or mother became US citizen, you were a green card holder before you turn 18, you automatically kind of can claim citizenship. So that's what they are talking about here. And if you are still a permanent resident, that means a green card holder, you have to complete those sections. And let's say if you are a green card holder, you cannot petition for your parent. I repeat that. So that will not work in this case, because for those who are green card holder, they cannot file for their parents. So now the question is, did you get your citizenship through marriage or not? This is major because oftentimes it go back in your marriage case, and many people find themselves in trouble. After that, they kind of review the marriage. Not that much, but they do go into the marriage case, so be careful. Mention the right information. Don't put no here if you got it through marriage. And if no, you got it through employment, for example, we will put no here. So now, information about your parent you're petitioning for example, let's say here XXX, and then first name Sanjay, and address you can put 678 Delhi or something. You can put the address which is there. And place of birth, of course, you have to mention date of birth, gender if you're filing for your father's male, if he's still married or divorced or widowed, so you can put it here. Other names used, you need to do the same thing that you're doing here. If he has used different names or there were mistakes, and of course he probably will not have a social security number at this point, and it keeps going on. You fill all this. If you're filing for, if your father or your mother is inside the United States for whom you're applying and you're a US citizen, you are eligible to file also the adjustment of status. And because of that, you have to mention the E number. I mean, not the E number, the I-94 number. This is the card they give at the airport when they enter, and it can be also through the electronic card now. So, and if they're working, never know, your father or mother already maybe have a work permit to some H1B or something like that. So you might want to mention this. Has your relative ever been immigration proceedings? What immigration proceedings means, it means basically deportation. If it is yes, you have to mention it there. So here you have to list if the information about your relative. So basically, if your father or mother has other children, you have to mention them here. We're going to put not applicable here, none actually, if there's nobody. And you have to put an address where you intend your father, because this is we are doing a parent I-130 here, so you need to mention the address, and this is just an example here, so you better not put the same. So now you put it here and you put the zip code, and here you're going to put where they're living right now, and now you can put what is the address, where they're living right now, etc. And these are fake, by the way. So now this part people get confused. If you write in a different alphabet, for example in Hindi, Arabic, Urdu, you need to write this in this alphabet here. That means if you have, and you usually have to do it by pen, this one. I don't have the typewriter for that, but if you have it, you can use it. And if you're filing now for spouse, that's different. Here we are doing a parent's petition, but for spouse, if you and your wife has been living together, you might want to put that here. And here is the part that I was talking about. If it is for a spouse or a parent and you are a US citizen, they are eligible for adjustment of status. So you need to complete the adjustment of status paper together with that. And if you have other petition, and also when you file the adjustment of status, I recommend filing also at the I-765 work permit, and sometimes the I-131 depending on your circumstances for traveling during the time the case is pending. But we're very careful here. If you're traveling, we have a video on that. Make sure you have not overstayed. And then this is another question: have you filed a petition before in any other area? This is very important because they will look if there's some kind of fraud involved, or also on your affidavit of support, this will be considered as a situation where they will have to check if you have enough money to basically meet the requirement. And here they made it simple. You sign on that, and if someone else, like for example, if I am preparing this like Sharp Raleigh, I will fill the information here because I am the lawyer. And remember, it has to be a lawyer or someone, a family member or an organization to fill this for you. This is a quick overview of the Form I-130. But the Form I-130, the part here, it's not for you. You don't fill it. But the part that is very, very important, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the form, is when and where you file it. There are a lot of laws attached to it, including also the dual intent violation if you're on B1 visa, or if you're filing an adjustment of status. The form itself is pretty self-explanatory, but the attached documents are very important to make the case. And this is where a good lawyer can help you. Especially you need to know if this is a good form for you. Should you go for that or not? I recommend that you call us or call um, our office. And here I forgot, are you related by adoption? You have to mention it. It's very important. It makes a big difference. You put no here. Did you get parent through adoption? And we're going to put no here. I forgot that part, so I'm mentioning it. It's very important that every single part which is in blue here needs to be filled. Phone number, very important. And then you don't, like here I'm going to put our phone number just in case, and that's a real phone number. 74258. It's 87 actually. So make sure you review the form before you sign it and send it, and hopefully that will help you to bring your one of your parents, and you can use that for sibling. You also use that for your spouse, and of course many cases get more complicated with more stuff, and we recommend that you contact an attorney if you need help, and make sure it's a real attorney. And you will see here I mentioned USCIS have been kind of cracking down on those false attorneys. So we are licensed to practice law, and we will be glad to help you. The number to call is 510-742-5887. And anything I'm telling you today, ladies and gentlemen, is for educational purposes only. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided. If you like our video, please click like and share it with your friends. Thank you.